Wrestling fans, welcome to Impact Media Presents Fabulous Wrestling Talk WWE Clash at the Castle. It is coming up this weekend at jolly old Scotland, the home of at least one line of my fathers. Basically, I got multiple fathers. Some of my great grandfathers. We'll go as far back as that. Uh, I know the York line at least started in Scotland, and I think Scotland and Ireland. Kind of weird. Who wouldn't think that? But regardless of my family history, welcome into the show. I'm Jeremy the Impact York. As I said, lots of good matches to talk about tonight, plus three X factors that could be involved with this particular pay-per-view. This thing is in Glasgow, Scotland, as I said. And as you notice, uh, do not have the tag team partner Daniel Snyder with me tonight. Should have him back. He's out on a different assignment for Impact Media here, and it just happened to be the one time that we could record this show. He'll be back next week to talk about this pay-per-view and all the amazing things that happen, or premium live event, or whatever. Think about this, folks. It is more accurate to call it premium live event than pay-per-view. And this is also from the same company that rebranded themselves from World Wrestling Federation, WWF, to World Wrestling Federation Entertainment and called themselves Sports Entertainment as opposed to professional wrestling. Yeah, they just make up terms as they go. It's fine. It works. It works. I don't have a problem with it. But like I said, Daniel will be back if let me make sure to get all the info out on this one. If you want to follow the show at impact_media_ on YouTube, that's the best way to do it. Leave us a question, comment, suggestion, rating, review, subscribe to the show. We appreciate our subscriber numbers are going up, and we definitely appreciate that. And tell me what kind of stuff you guys want to hear. We do all kinds of stuff from wrestling to football to hockey to everything. Well, hockey's on our other channel. We do everything else. So, let me know what you guys want to hear, what you guys want to talk about. I'm going to have some guests on soon that you guys are going to enjoy. Other than that, if you want to follow Daniel and his streaming, he plays a lot of MLB The Show, a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of things like that. He streams it on his Twitch channel and also his Instagram channel at Daniel Snyder 8361. That is DANIELSNYDER 8361. I was trying to figure out what that number means. But audio withstanding, he did give me his picks. So I'm going to try to go through them. I'm going to try to make it work so that you hear his picks as we go through the card. And without further ado, let's do just that. I'm going to do them in the order they were listed online. Don't know if this is the actual order or not. My guess is probably. We are going to start with Bayley defending she's the SmackDown Women's Champion against Piper Niven with Chelsea Green. Now, I know what a lot of you guys are saying. How did Piper suddenly end up in this match? First off, let's just say this. She is more than qualified to be in this match. This is not me defending her. It is not one of those, oh, she did so many things on the indie scene that it warrants the things she does here. No. Watch her in-ring work. She's one of the best females in this division by far. Not over her size. No, she's one of the best. I wish she got more opportunities like this. And also, she's from Scotland. She's from Scotland. She's from the area. Why, if you're going to go to the links to go to these places around the world, if you have an athlete that you can feature, why wouldn't you feature them? You're going to see another one featured later on that makes perfect sense. And you guys should already know who it is at this point, not just because you know the card, but there's a blatantly obvious Scottish superstar on the roster that is in a prominent position. I guarantee if you think hard enough, you will figure it out. But this should be a good match. Bayley is very good, very solid. She might be one of the best ever. She can work with anybody. She honestly rarely does not work with a lot of people bigger than her so much. Nia Jax a little, but in Rhea, but in Charlotte. Other than that, everybody's smaller than Bailey, and Bailey's not that big of a woman. But her versus Piper is going to be very, very good. Piper is going to dominate a lot of this match because of the size and power advantage. Bailey is going to have to find ways to get around Chelsea as well as to counter some of the power. Got to use some speed, some finesse, a little bit of the old noggin, I think. Let's see what Daniel had to say about this. I hope this picks up. If not, you guys let me know and I will just post his audio somewhere. But let's see what Daniel had to say.
Bailey will lose to Piper. Bailey all along was just a transitional champion. Sammy.
Okay. He's about to get in Sammy, which is next one. Interesting. I want to hear his explanation for this next week. I don't think this is bad, but I've actually heard his audio and we're gonna disagree a little bit on some stuff. But I like what he's following. Except for I mean, Bailey loses Piper. That's perfectly understandable. I do think Bailey is going to retain here, but if Piper won, even if Chelsea helped her, Chelsea try to claim that it's their championship. I mean, that's a different power angle that I have just not thought of. So kudos to Daniel for coming up with that. But he's taking Piper. I'm taking Bailey. Next we go to Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable and crew. Let's see what Daniel had to say.
Finally loses the title to Chad. Once again, same thing for Sammy. He's just a transitional champion. But everyone that's there will get involved in some way, obviously.
Okay. So he's saying the crew, not just Otis, is going to help Gable pull this off. Not very far fetched, but how interesting would that be that if WWE made sure that all the hometown talent, people from around the area, don't come out the victor, but the pretty much most American there hold off a victory over a Canadian. That sounds like the WWE we all know and love. So that's very plausible. I honestly think that Sammy is going to retain. Um, it just most of the time when they go overseas, keep in mind title changes don't happen very often anyway, and they almost never happen on foreign soil. I don't know why that is, but look it up throughout WWE history. That didn't happen very often at all, and it really hasn't. I think Sammy retains, and I think Sammy still has a little bit of a run left. At some point, Chad Gable with it's not a bad idea, but I don't know. Chad's one of the better heels right now too. So Daniel's kind of winning me over a little bit with his argument, but I'm gonna stick with Sami Zayn. Next is Cody Rhodes defending his SmackDown Championship against AJ Styles. AJ's super guy, by the way. Met him years ago when he was in TNA. Really is a Georgia boy, and just loves video games, loves having fun. Cody local as well. This is Georgia versus Georgia. This is pretty fun. Um, I would like to see AJ. I would like to see AJ take this. I think it makes a lot of sense with the angle that they ran because if he went to all that trouble to trick Cody so that he could attack him, why it would make no sense to have him not win versus Cody. It would all be for nothing. And AJ might as well retire at that point, which we all don't want because he's still top of his game. I think AJ Styles is going to win. I don't know if the OG has a part in it or not, but I think it's about time Cody drops the belt, and I think AJ Styles is the one to drop it because Daniel's going to make a point in a minute about transitional champions. AJ might be that. And that next person is one of the X factors that he will talk about at the end, but I will also talk about at the end. Um, but I'll take AJ over Cody, and let's see what Daniel says.
Styles loses to Cody. We know what's going to happen with Cargill and
Okay, he gets into the next one there. Um, Interesting. I would like to hear his breakdown as to why he thinks AJ's not going to pull this off. Um, which is interesting. Without knowing any more context to it, this is an interesting show. I've never done a show like this. Um, so let's move to the next one. Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill are going to defend the women's tag team championships against Alba Fire and Isla Dawn, one of my favorite teams. Well, they're a decent team. I like the way they put them together. Isla Dawn, I'm a big fan of. Really like her work, her in-ring work. I think I don't know what's going to happen when that particular faction that we will talk about in a minute shows up unless she's in it, because she would be a good fit, but a random fit. And it kind of what they would do and what she does kind of clashes. I could see that ultimately being the end of her there, which is a shame because she's Alba Fire is a fantastic worker, and Isla Dawn is a fantastic performer. Um, and then how can you not like Shayna? She's fantastic. She's always a good performer as well. These are six women who can absolutely work. But Belair and Cargill are going to win. They might have a lengthy. It's gonna they're just gonna fire through the tag team division for the women, which that's fine. It's because they don't know what to do with Belair and Cargill, and you can't give them both world titles. It just doesn't make sense right now. So you got to give them the tag belts and let them rifle through the rest of the division. Um, Now he was just getting into what he thinks about that match, and here's what Daniel thinks.
Fire will keep the titles. Damian Priest versus
Okay, these will get to the next one. Yeah, same thing. Belair and Cargill are going to retain. They're good. They're really good. Look, talent wise, yeah. Look wise, they have a look. They seem to really mesh well together. Understandable, right? Understandable. That leads us to the main event: Damian Priest versus Drew McIntyre, another guy from jolly old Scotland. I can't say my fellow countrymen because I'm not from Scotland. I'm not going to be that person that just because I have history at a place that I claim that place. It's fine if you want to do that. I'm just not that person. Um, if I didn't already have AJ beating Cody, this would be the belt I think would move. I do think Priest is potentially one of those transitional guys. Losing to Drew would make sense in Scotland, and he finally, I mean, it kind of rights the wrong that was WrestleMania and WrestleMania a couple times ago. But and it's mainly a wrong because where's CM Punk? CM Punk has not done a whole lot since WrestleMania when he helped screw Drew out of the belt and helped Priest win it. Priest is a credible champion. I do think he makes a good champion. He might win the belt again somewhere down the road. I just, I would normally say Drew was going to win, but I've already given the other belt away. And I just told you title changes do not happen very often at all on foreign soil. If one does happen, I think it's AJ over Cody. I think Priest retains here. Daniel's going to get into a theory that I have about how this one plays out, and it helps build the next rivalry and the next big feud. And I just mentioned part of it, but here's what he says about that.
CM Punk makes his appearance and costs Drew the championship once again, which will lead to their rivalry to pick back up now that CM Punk is done with his injury. But at the same time, I could see Drew winning, and this is how they put the title on CM Punk.
Following along?
Which could eventually lead to.
Oh, let me stop there. He's saying Priest to Drew to CM Punk to the fourth guy, who is one of the X factors. He already mentioned Punk. That's two of the three. That's the first X Factor. There's a faction that's an X Factor, and then there's another superstar, and he's about to name him.
Gunther getting it from him, or is Gunther on the other side on Cody's?
Yep, he's on Raw.
Whoever wins this match is going to be a transitional champion as well. I could see Drew winning because of where it's at, but
Never happens.
also they've got to pick back up on the CM Punk thing.
Yep, exactly. What happened to that rivalry? Punk said he's good. He shows up in random Raws, but since they've had to push Drew as the co-main or as part of the main event here, they had to almost drop the CM Punk angle because it was getting in the way. But now you got to pick it up somehow. What better way? Have Punk cost Drew again, or if you really want to make it interesting, have Punk get in the middle of this and either Priest retains or Drew wins because Punk screws it up and actually screws Priest, and then now we get a triple threat, or even a fatal four-way if you want to put Gunther in there. Those sorts of things can happen. There's a lot of fun chaos that can happen that involve Gunther, CM Punk, Damian Priest, and Drew McIntyre. Me and Daniel seem to be on the same page that there's part of the chaos. On top of that faction of the Wyatt Six. The Wyatt Six, we know they're going to show up sometime. Is it going to be the end of the following Raw? Is that when they're going to make their major play? There's been all the QR codes and all the stuff and the random hints that we by now all have figured out. Or are they going to do something at this pay-per-view? Don't know. But here's his kind of X Factor excerpt here. Here's Daniel.
Also, let's not forget that it's been said that the Wyatt Six will be at Monday Night Raw. So maybe touch on that. I'm going to be watching it possibly. I don't know.
He does know. He knows he's watching it. There you go. There you go. There's some X factors in there. Like I said, are they going to be at this show? Are they going to be at Monday Night Raw? People think they are. Where are they? Where are they going to be? Don't know. I know one thing, they're not here. For one, that would be awesome. Big fans of everybody involved there. But also, I got bodyguards just in case here. Just in case they were to do things. No, that's not my coy way of playing with the lights or nothing like that. I'm not going to do that. But thank Daniel for sending that in. He knew he couldn't make it, so he said, hey, let me send you my picks. Great. And that's all the audio files. I knew that was going to be fantastic. Hopefully you guys heard those. If you didn't, let me know. I will find a way to post those. But let's recap. I've got Bailey. He's got Piper in for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Fair enough. I've got Sami Zayn. He's got Chad Gable for the Intercontinental title. So he's got two title changes already. He thinks Cody retains. I think AJ is going to be your new SmackDown champion with the OG. That's going to help. You need to keep that trio together like that. Maybe let them build out a little bit. Make them a little like a Bullet Club. Belair and Cargill are absolutely going to keep their titles over Alba Fire, Isla Dawn, Zoe Starks, and Shayna Baszler. I mean, Shayna just lost on NXT Battleground in a match based off her previous career of fighting. Yes, she lost to Lola Vice, who was also a former UFC fighter, but if those two really fought, it'd be a lot more even, a lot more brutal than it actually was on NXT. But Baylor and Cargill are going to keep their belts. We both agree there. He thinks Drew could take this one. I think Priest is going to retain. I do think CM Punk is involved somewhere. Don't know if Gunther is or not. I think Gunther's tie-in will be on Raw. I don't know that Gunther will necessarily be in Scotland, even though I think I don't remember if he's from England. He's from in that area, though, I believe. And he could be in the area. But do I think the Wyatt Six show up over here? I think at least 1 to 2 tie-ins to them happens. Is it them actually showing up? Don't know. Is it more QR codes? Is it lights flickering? Is it things on the screen? You know, I don't know, random dolls sitting around. Could be stuff like that. I do think they make at least 2 references to them. I'll set the references at 1.5. I'll take the over. I do think Raw is when they are going to really unleash or really start the ball rolling of what they're going to do. I don't think they're going to get unleashed for about 3 weeks. But by the next pay per view, which is SummerSlam, I think. No, Money in the Bank, because they've been doing qualifying. Money in the Bank. Expect that. Expect the Wyatt Six to. I don't even know if they're going to be called. The Wyatt Six will be great, but whatever they do call them, it's going to be fantastic. That is our show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You had to look at me the whole time. You didn't get to look at Daniel. But as always, if you want to follow the show, impact_media_ on YouTube, please subscribe. Click I think there's a little bell you can click that tells you when all the content drops. Please do that. Follow Daniel at Daniel Snyder 8361 on Twitch and Instagram. He streams a lot of his MLB The Show and also his Call of Duty and other things he does, and just other projects he does. He does a lot of stuff like we do, and definitely go follow him there. But for my tag team partner, Daniel Snyder, I am Jeremy York. This has been Fabulous Wrestling Talk WWE Clash at the Castle, which is this Saturday, I believe, afternoon. Check your times on Peacock. But until then, we will see you guys next week to talk all about what happened. Deuces, gooses.